Alright, you guys, it's time for deck number 4. Um, the blue deck box. I think almost everybody probably recognizes this deck box whenever it was featured um, back at Fanatics. This is, of course, my Ritual Djinn deck. Whenever I first came here, and they heard that I was running a Ritual deck, people were thinking, Gishkis? Gishki? Gishki? No, hoo hoo hoo. This one's much different and definitely much better than they ever thought that it could possibly be. Of course, whenever I brought it to Fanatics, it kind of became, one of those decks where it's like, oh my freaking god, I cannot believe that this is happening. I was very, very proud whenever I first made this deck, and now I'll get to share it to you. A lot of people have already seen the deck, probably don't exactly remember all the monsters, so it's still going to be on this little profile. It's I do believe it is a 40 card deck, so there's no extra add-ons. So let's get to it. By the way, the deck doesn't have an extra deck. Reasons why. Doesn't really need one. But on top of that, it could use one. I'm waiting for tour guides to actually be reprinted in Epic Dawn, and when it does, this deck is going to be 5 times better than whatever it used to be, because when tour guides come in, it's going to really help out. It's going to get the offensive power that it needs, the defensive power that it needs, the cycling ability that it needs. It's crazy. I can't exactly explain why right now, but I'm sure somebody can probably guess how it's going to work. But anyways, here's the main deck, which is the only part of the deck. Here is the ritual lineup. There are 6 rituals in the deck. Of course, 3 different ritual monsters, 2 of each. North Wimco. North Wimco is the powerhouse of the entire deck. It really is, because whenever it comes out, you target up the same number of cards used for the ritual summon, and as long as they remain face-up on the field, can't be destroyed by card effects. So if I go up against anything with a field spell, I always target the field spell, because sometimes most opponents feel the need to keep the field spell in order to keep things going for them. So Dark World decks, beware. 2, Garland off. The destruction of the deck. It only destroys face-ups, but of course it becomes a really, really heavy hitter. I've been thinking about running 3 North Wimcos and running no Garland offs, but whenever I thought about it, I thought, how was I going to get rid of some of the monsters out in the field? So I stuck with Garland off, period. It's a Raigeki. It's a Dark Hole. It's a Screw You Over. It's a Mess Your Face Up. Anyways, and then Relinquished. Relinquished, who can really say anything bad about Relinquished? A lot. Slurp up one of your monsters, gain attack, mirror your monster, life points, everything. It's crazy. Of course, combined with the Djinns, crazy. The deck is basically a chaos deck because all the monsters essentially in it are light and dark, so we do have a BLS. 2, the Djinn Deswerer of Rituals. This is the level 1 Djinn that whenever it's used, your opponent's trap cards are unaffected. Rituals are unaffected by trap cards whenever this guy is used as a ritual material for that ritual monster. Presider. Presider is the level 4, and whenever that ritual monster that used it for the ritual summoning, if that monster destroys a monster on the field, then you get to draw a card. So there's a lot of essential draw power in the deck. This is Prognosticator. This card can be switched up with another Djinn in case I'm going up against something like a Dark World or a Fabled deck, because whenever a ritual monster attacks and inflicts damage, your opponent selects one card in their hand and discards it, and it's a must. So, they'll probably discard, something like Grapha, or, a new Dark World monster and really screw up the chances. But for any other deck, discarding can really screw something up. This is the card that screws up everything in almost every deck, and that would be Releaser of Rituals. When Releaser is used for a ritual, so long as the ritual monster remains based upon the field, your opponent can't special summon, period. It's a Christia with rituals, and much better. Armageddon Knight can frisk out the dark Djinn monsters, put them in the graveyard for the ritual summoning. This guy would be the card to get rid of for tour guides whenever I get them, because they'll work kind of the same way, only X-seeding will be more beneficial. 1 Chaos Sorcerer, of course. 3 mana juice. You definitely need 3, because there are 6 ritual monsters and only 3 of the ritual magics. Most of the time I just go straight for the ritual magics and hopefully draw the ritual monsters out of the draw power that I essentially get. Of course, there are more ways to actually get them into your hand rather than draw them, and you'll see why. 1 Morphing Jar, gold rare, shiny. Here are, of course, the ritual magics, of course, for each of the ritual monster. 3, Preparation of Rites. This card, I'm surprised it never got hit with, you know, the Gishkis and everything like that. Preparation of Rites can target 1 ritual monster level 7 or lower in your deck added to your hand, and then you can add a ritual magic from your graveyard to your hand. And not many people target magics while they're in the graveyard. They mostly target monsters with DD Crow and stuff like that, so they forget that this card even exists. And they wait, and they wait, and they wait until the time is too wrong. Then, of course, we have 2 Gold Sarcophaguses. With Gold Sarcophagus, I would normally go for Preparation of Rites, or I go for Man Juice, and that's how they work. 1 Book of Moon, very essential to the deck, just cuz. And 1 Preparation of Rites. Get the Man Juice back into the deck, maybe even the ritual monsters back into the deck, and start bringing them back in as much as you possibly can. 1 Heavy Storm, and that's it for the magics. Now let's get on to the traps. We have 2 Ritual Busters. These cards could be taken out for something slightly better, but I really like them because, I don't know, they seem to come out at the right time for some odd reason. They always do. Whenever a ritual monster is ritual summoned successfully, you activate the card. Of course, this card can be in a chaining response to another trap that could be activated during the summon of your monster. It's crazy, too, because it can be, you know, inactive and chainable, like to a bottomless trap hole, is what I mean. So, by activating this card, your opponent can't activate any magics or any traps until your next turn. So it can really screw up somebody's next turn to get rid of those monsters, if they have the possibility of doing it. 2 Reckless Reads. The deck itself can pretty much load up cards into your hand crazily, but I wanted that extra draw power, so I went with 2 Reckless Greeds. It seems like Reckless Greeds are probably in most of my decks, quite honestly, because I like the draw power. I'm very greedy. Okay. And then we have 2 Threatening Roars. Keep your opponent at bay. 1 Royal Decree. It's a Hobby League Royal Decree. Very, very cool. And then Torrential Tribute. An ultra rare Torrential Tribute, one of the originals. And that's it for the ritual deck. Don't have to really go over any extra deck or anything like that. But, you know, if I never do get tour guides, if I never do get the X-Seeds that I really do want for the deck, like Leviar Dragon, or Zen Mains, oh my god, Zen Mains would be wonderful for this deck. If I never get those, this deck might probably be the next deck being sold. If any of you guys are interested in getting this deck, you should look me up as soon as you can. We'll look for a good price for you. Anyways, that's it for this one. Finally going to work on the last deck, deck number 5. Catch you later.